Hi everyone, and welcome to Weekly Cooking with Becky. Tonight we are going to be making a recipe that I have made a ton of times and have just been trying to find the right time to make it. We are going to be making some bagels, totally keto approved bagels, and they're technically called everything bagels, but I'm not actually going to put on the everything seasoning. I'm going to leave them plain Jane bagels. If you want to add the everything seasoning, or if you want to add like a cinnamon sugar topping, keto approved sweetener, like a monk fruit and cinnamon, or if you want to add jalapeno cheddar cheese, whatever, this is where you can kind of have fun. I'm going to leave it plain Jane. And then you guys can do whatever. But this is just a standard bagel recipe. You can doctor it up and flavor it up however. So first things first, I have 3 cups of mozzarella cheese shredded and 2 ounces of cream cheese. And we are going to put this in the microwave for about 60 seconds to melt and give it a stir. And then if I need more, I'll add more. So we're gonna get that going. While we are doing that, here in my dry ingredients, literally 2 dry ingredients, and I'm going to make sure that I did do it right. 1.5 cups of almond flour and 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and that's it. And I'm just going to whisk them up real quick so that they can have that rise. And then in another cup, 2 eggs that you just kind of mix with a fork. Now it says, my own trick, it says to add the eggs in together. I'm gonna add most of the eggs, but not all, because they recommend a water wash on top. So I'm gonna add like probably 1.5 of what I see to the eggs, and I'm gonna do an egg wash on top. I want that nice egg look when I see it. So I better get myself out a brush to do that with. Perfect. So I'm going to do some little adaptations on that. Let's take a look and see what this looks like. And if we're ready, I will aim the camera so that you guys can see. Sometimes you have to add a few more seconds, and sometimes you don't. It comes together pretty quickly. What I will say is I have taken off, I always wear my wedding ring and my mother's ring. Those are off my hands because this is kind of a messy recipe, and I also have some paper towels off to the side to kind of dry off on. This needs probably another 30 seconds. So while we're doing that, thank you to everybody who has subscribed to my channel, and I would love to have more. So please make sure you subscribe and turn on those notifications and keep sharing my videos. I have officially gone past 1,000. So yay! Thank you all for following me. This has been quite a journey, and to make it to this point is an absolute blessing. So thank you all for coming on this journey with me. Just a little backstory, I have lost 80 pounds and I have been maintaining it for 3.5 years now, getting close to 4 years, and I've been living the life and loving it, and I love sharing these tips and tricks with you. So thank you so much for subscribing. Please continue to share out my videos and get more people to subscribe. I'm very happy to have you guys here. All right, let's take a look. Ooh, this looks good. Alrighty, so we're gonna start to incorporate. So now I'll start to put the camera down here, just a wee bit. Don't want it quite too hot. You are gonna wanna get your hands involved. Have cooking spray. They also recommend like a bowl of water nearby. I keep either an olive oil or avocado oil cooking spray nearby. Olive oil kind of gives a nice flavor to the bagels, and avocado oil doesn't give any flavor to the bagels, but it kind of just helps it mold nicely, and it helps clean, like rub off your hands easier than a water base. So I'm just gonna say I just spray cooking spray on my hands. So here we go. So I've got the cheese. Nice gloppy mess here. You can pretty much just pick it on up. It's very similar to a fathead dough. And we're gonna add about half of this. I will be getting my hands dirty here. I'll probably pause it at some point and then come back. Because as you see, this does not come together easily. So there's no need to watch me like really get in there like crazy. So, but I will be. So I'm gonna be getting in with the rest. And before I officially pause it, I am gonna go ahead and add in, so here's 2 eggs. I'm not gonna add in all. I'm gonna leave just a little bit because I wanna use that as an egg wash on top when everything is said and done. But this is just gonna help everything kind of come together. So I'm gonna do as much as I can. Basically, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do as much as I can with my hand or with a fork. Then when it gets to the point that I can't, I'm gonna spray my hands and get in there. And I'm gonna make a ball, and then I will see you on the other side and we'll shape bagels. See you in just a minute. Okay, so I've got my glob. Now, what I'm gonna do is I have 2 baking sheets, and I'm going to literally put half a glob on one and half a glob on the other. My reason is I'm going to divide them into 4 and try to be pretty equal about it. But I'm going to respray my hands a little bit. Don't worry, I'll aim it down in a minute. And I'm just going to kind of go through and do a pinch of the dough right where I think the middle is. Okay. All right. So I'm going to show you how I make 4 of them, and then I'll make the other 4 off camera. And then I'll bake them. You bake them for 15 to 20 minutes. The person who did this recipe bakes hers for exactly 20. Every oven's different. My oven tends to be more about 17. So just I always start checking right at that 15, and then you just kind of go from there. So here we go. All right, so here's one. And what I kind of like to do is I like to make sure that they're even. Okay, so first I'm just gonna go kind of in half. And they should look like two pretty even sized circles. And then I'm gonna go in half again. Okay. I'm gonna do the same while I'm here really quickly with those other ones. Just wanna make sure that I did size them all about the same. Okay. Make yourself a good circle. Now, over time, I stopped putting the hole in the bagel, but for you guys, I think maybe I'll do like half and half. Go ahead and make that pinch. Give it a good spread. You can obviously see it molds very easily. And you can make your bagel, lay it down on your silicone mat. It recommends silicone. I've done parchment, you'll be just fine. I've just never really understood the hole on the bagel because it's like wasted space, and sometimes I like to do like cold sandwiches the next day where you cut them in half and you do cold sandwiches, or when you toast them and you gotta go around, and So sometimes I like to literally just leave them like this. So I'm gonna show you. I'm just gonna leave this one. Because sometimes that's like a bun, right? It's like a hamburger bun. And for sandwich making, that's nice. So I'm gonna do half and half. Tastes the same, right? So that's just, nobody says that you have to put a hole in a bagel. Just saying. You do what you want to do. I mean, bagel bites, those are just pieces of bagel. I mean, you could technically do that with this. Just make pieces. Roll them into your seasoning of choice, right? So why do you have to have a hole? So do what you want. Okay, and once again, I'm gonna leave this guy because he's gonna be a sandwich. Okay, I'm gonna do the others in just a minute, and then I'll just show you really a quick egg wash and we'll get to baking. So let me do the other 4 and I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, so now I'm just gonna take the egg wash and we're just going to cover the bagels or biscuits or whatever you want to call them, since I'm kind of doing a mixture. Like I said, when you read the recipe, it's gonna say use water, but I've been doing this recipe for a while and I prefer this. I just think it's better. I've done it both ways. There's just something about an egg wash on dough. It just, comes out better. But you don't need a whole egg for it. So you use a majority of your egg in the actual recipe, but you just save a little bit. And this is the part where if you're going to add the everything seasoning, or you want to sweeten it with cinnamon and sugar, do a sweetened bagel, or you want to do cheddar jalapeno and you want to put some cheddar cheese flakes on there with some pieces of jalapeno. I mean, this is where you're going to do it, because right now you're adding that wash, so things will stick to it. So this is when this is that chance that you have to flavor it. I'm going to stick with a plain bagel. So I'm going to put them in the oven 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll see how they are, because I'm starving, so I'm going to use one as a meal because we eat late on Mondays for us. I know it'll be Wednesday when you see it, but for us, we eat late on Mondays, so this is going to be like a little light meal in between. So I'll see you back here in just a little bit. So you got to see what 4 bagels look like, and then like 4 doughy biscuits. I mean, they taste the same, but one you can make kind of an easier sandwich with, and one that's like a bagel. You choose. Sometimes I make them all look like bagels. Sometimes I make them all look like the biscuit one. So I have one of the bagel ones right now. It's still pretty hot. I'm not going to cut it, but you could totally cut it. Once you have stored them in the fridge, you'll want to cut them if you're going to toast them. Or if you want to make a sandwich, then you don't need to toast them at all. I've got some cream cheese coming on here, and I'm going to spread some on. Like I said, I am starving. Waiting for these to cook has been hard. It's been hard. So, cannot wait to have this as a nice protein-filled tide me over. The eggs and the cheese and the almond flour. And almonds are protein anyways. So, I just did it on the bottom, but cheers. And these are good. Who says you can't have bagels? Eat your bagels. And eat them without guilt. I hope you enjoy. Use them for breakfast, use them for lunch or dinner. Just enjoy. And I hope you like them as much as I do. And I will see you next time. And once again, feel free to subscribe. And also feel free to follow me on Facebook too at Living Low Carb with Becky. Turn those notifications on. See you next time. Bye.